Welcome inside the Fantasy Stock Exchange. Danny and Bush coming at you with another mock draft episode. We are picking in a 12-team PPR mock draft today. I'm picking from the 2 slot. Danny is picking from the 9 slot. How you doing today?
Doing well. Yeah. 2 slot again. I'm assuming it's going to be similar for you. Barkley or McCaffrey. McCaffrey goes, so now your decision's there. From the 9, I'm probably going to end up stacking 2 running backs, but it all depends on how the board falls. So see what happens. Again, this is a 12-team PPR mock draft that we're doing for today. So looking at the board right now, I mean, Clyde Edwards-Helaire here. That's going to be my pick. Now, talking about Clyde, I actually recently moved up to the 5 spot, and I mean, in a full PPR format, I've broken it down multiple times. Damian Williams the RB10 on points per game in games that he played 50% or more of the snaps. And I do figure that Clyde's going to be more so in that 60 to 75% range, which was similar to what Kareem Hunt did when he was a consensus RB4 for his almost 2 years, because we know what happened in his second year on the Chiefs. So I'm perfectly fine with taking the value there on Clyde. Now I am back on the clock, and I'm looking at Miles Sanders. I'm looking at Julio Jones. Now, the injury with Sanders worries me enough to the point I'll take the elite wide receiver over him in a full PPR. So I'm going to snag Julio Jones. But now it's the problem. See, I would take Sanders over Chubb, but with Julio on the board, the safety that he provides, 100 catches, full PPR, I'm fine with taking him there at that 204 slot.
Yeah, I'm actually really mad. I was really hoping Travis Kelce would fall to me, but I also didn't know that Aaron Jones would be on the board. So I'm going to take Aaron Jones, who's I believe he's my RB11. I have him ranked higher than Joe Mixon, Nick Chubb, and Kenyon Drake. So yeah. I'll definitely take him at the back of the second round, pair him with Barkley, and I got 2 elite pass catching running backs.
Yeah,
to start my draft.
Definitely a nice play, and just noticing now Eckler was sniped 2 picks before me in the second round, so it feels bad.
Yeah, and I am going to go. I don't want to pick DJ Moore because we pick him all the time, but I guess I'm going to pick DJ Moore in a full PPR. DJ Moore is going to catch a lot of passes this year. They're going to throw the ball a lot. They threw 616 times last year, and they lost all their major defensive pieces, and they got an upgrade at quarterback. So wheels up for DJ Moore.
Yeah, great pick there. That was definitely going to be the selection if he made it back to me. But looking at the board here, I'm thinking it's definitely going to be Adam Thielen. Let me just take a quick glance. Yeah, I'm going to take Adam Thielen. I think full PPR, you're getting that easy, locked-in we'll say top 12 receiver, but I do think if he stays and plays the full 16, he has top 8, top 7 type value. So definitely like him there. And see, my highest rated running back here is Melvin Gordon, but with kind of the reports are coming in camp, I still have him like clearly the highest running back here. But with those reviews, I don't know if I can take him over like a DJ Chark. So, I mean, third wide receiver, whatever. We'll try out a Lucas and we'll take DJ Chark. So, well, I'm fine with doing that there.
Okay, so at the back of the
I wanted
fourth round here, I got I was talking about the other day how I think Melvin Gordon might be sliding a little bit due to this news about him and Lindsey potentially being in like kind of a committee situation. But it's the 411. I got to pick him.
Yeah, no, that's great value. I would pick him there as well. The only reason I took Chark over him again was because of the news. But I still think his value is early 4th round, late 3rd. So good value there on him at the 411.
This is probably going to piss you off because I know you would pick Terry McLaurin here. And I love Terry McLaurin, but actually, yeah, full PPR. Fuck. I was going to pick DK Metcalf, but I think in a full PPR, Terry McLaurin has probably a higher floor than Metcalf does. So I'm going to go with Terry.
I like that value on him there. I was actually, if I didn't have 3 receivers, probably would have been my pick. And we see a big receiver and Watson run there. But talking about DeAndre Swift, I was hoping he'd make it back to me. And taking him there at the 408, we are going to see his ADP start rising as people hear the reports again. That injury that came out with the news, I heard was actually just minor. He came back practice next day, was perfectly fine. Anyways, segueing off because the timer's running out, I'm going to take Jonathan Taylor here at the back end of the 5th round. Incredible value for
value on him.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Got the 2 rookie running backs, so feeling a little risky, but I like it. And then as we see, all the receivers go off right after that in Mark Ingram. So this pick here is going to be coming between Ronald Jones and Michael Gallup. Now, because I have Jonathan Taylor and I don't know what he's going to be able to do for the first few weeks of the season, I'm going to lock myself up with Ronald Jones, 604. Gives you a little safety there in case Jonathan Taylor does have the slow start that we anticipate.
Okay.
Receivers galore, man. Damn.
Receivers just really went off the board here. I think Brandon Cooks and Christian Kirk I'm fine with either way in the 7th round. So I'm gonna go with David Montgomery here because I think it's just too good of value to pass up.
Nice. I mean,
neither
end of
them
the
went.
6th.
So I'm gonna take Brandon Cooks here. I think between him and Will Fuller, I think you're getting for sure. I think they're both gonna finish as like top 25 receivers. I think one of them has a chance to finish top 15.
Yeah, I definitely like that there. And looking back on the clock, Kareem Hunt made it to the end of the 7th round, and there's no way at all I'm passing on him there. So getting him as my RB4 there, I really like the mix of both safety and ceiling with my team. Got the ceiling with the 2 rookies, the floor with Ronald Jones and Kareem Hunt. So I like what's going on there. Looking back on the clock here, this is why I kind of do like I have that 3 receiver set because a lot of these guys, I mean, maybe Jameson Crowder is kind of the floor play here, but it's not really someone I want to take in the 8th round. Any tight ends available here? I'm going to take Aiden Hurst. I mean, 8th round's probably around his value, so perfectly fine with spending that pick on him.
Okay. Running backs. I like my running backs. I don't think I need any more running backs, so I'm not going to – I like J.K. Dobbins, but I'm not really going to go out of my way to pick him there. I'm going to try and wait really long on tight end and see how that goes.
I mean, you could just end up with Jonnu anyways, given how much this ADP sleeps on him.
So I'm gonna go with Darius Sladen at the 8-11 here.
Solid value.
I think that's solid value on him. Is any quarterbacks not really that intriguing? Actually, you know what? I don't get a lot of Carson. I'm gonna grab Carson Wentz here. I think he's gonna have a big time bounce back, especially if Jalen Reagor's able to establish himself the way, by all reports, it sounds like Jalen Reagor's absolutely dominating camp, and I'm very glad that I drafted him in my big money league.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of him, I'm actually going to take him here as my wide receiver 4, 9th round pick. Perfectly fine with that value, as you mentioned. He's really been standing out in camp, so I like taking him there. And back on the clock here, any quarterbacks I like? I do like Matthew Stafford. Take him in the 10th round, seeing how the quarterbacks are kind of running here. Again, the biggest thing is we preach waiting on quarterback, but you always have to adapt to your league. If your league is taking quarterbacks, you know, some guys may even take 2, you got to kind of adjust your value accordingly. So taking a guy like Stafford, who I do believe has QB1, top 5 QB type potential if he stays healthy here, I do think is good value. So I'm going to take him here in the 10th round.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all. The tight end position. Yeah, screw it. You know what? Mike Gesicki's still on the board. I'm going to go with Mike Gesicki.
Don't mind that at all.
Yeah. Is Jonnu gone? Like, I don't even see him. He's usually
he's 17.
Oh, my God. Is he actually not?
Yeah.
He's actually still on the board?
Yeah.
Okay. That is fucking ridiculous. All right. I'm actually just going to go back-to-back tight ends. I'm going to pair Gesicki and Jonnu.
Yeah. Dude, I talked about it in the draft guide, and I'm like, okay, I can make him my sleeper because he's only tight end 17. Like, he's a clear top 10 tight end.
I don't know why he's not where Hayden Hurst is. Like, I'm still so confused.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm actually going to take, for my RB5, a little more upside too in Alexander Madison. Talked about multiple times. We don't know how the contract situation is going to happen with Dalvin Cook, especially again, like due to his injury concerns as well, like he's so risky at this point. I don't think he's going to get the deal. And if he does hold out, I mean, Alexander Madison is a clear top 15 back at the minimum. So get him here in the 11th round. Nice little upside play there. Back on the clock in the 12th round. And, I see another high upside back in the kind of a tier break after. So I'm going to take Chase Edmonds.
Yeah. God damn it.
12th round. I mean, great value on him. I mean, I love it, but really satisfied with those RBs, so I could probably stray away from them now.
Yeah, you can see it.
Devontae Freeman goes, ew.
I'm gonna go running back here. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't really like the value at all, to be honest. I'm gonna go with a guy that I get in every single draft, and I don't really care, and that's Michael Pitman Jr.
Great value. Great value on him there.
I want to get another running back, but I don't really like anyone on the board.
Yeah, no. I mean, McFarland is probably your best bet, I'd say, or Jerick McKinnon.
Yeah.
McKinnon or McFarland, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with McFarland. I was gonna go Damian Harris or Antonio Gibson, but I couldn't find either of them.
They went.
They must have been picked already.
Yeah, they went. Yeah, Gibson got picked. Where did he get picked? He was a little earlier. He was 10th round. Yeah, I'm gonna stack receivers. I'm just gonna tell you on this turn. I see two guys. I would take Deshaun Jackson, but I do have Jalen Reagor, so I kind of don't want to mix them both up. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna take first of all, Steven Sims. Talked about him in a couple of videos. I really like him. Maybe 13th round does seem high to the fantasy community, but I do think that's probably around where his value is, given that there's no clear number 2 option on Washington. And I do think he's the one that can step up into that role. And then I'm also going to take Rashad Perriman in the 14th round. Again, tons of opportunity, as I mentioned, with the Jets, similar to Washington. So perfectly fine with stacking those guys to end my draft, being my wide receivers, 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, 5 and 6. So I like how this team's looking.
All right. I'm just looking at my roster right now. Yeah, I think I got a pretty good balance. I could probably go in any number of directions here. I don't like the receivers on the board. I'm going to take Deshaun Jackson with my first pick here.
Like it.
Oh, I guess that was my last pick.
Yeah, whatever. So we'll briefly run over the teams for you guys, so you can guys kind of can see the visual of what we did. But go to team rosters. So Bush, take it away. Like, how'd your team end up? Do you like it?
Yeah, so I got Carson Wentz as my quarterback, which I don't usually end up with because Wentz is just kind of in that range that I don't tend to like draft quarterbacks in. But Saquon and Aaron Jones, I mean, I got 2 great PPR upside running backs. DJ Moore and Terry McLaurin, a bunch of young receivers entering their prime. You can never go wrong doing that. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
2 of my favorites.
Yeah, Mike Gesicki is my starting tight end, but it would probably be Johnny Smith. Melvin Gordon and David Montgomery are my flex spots. I think I got 2 probably top 24 running backs in my flexes, which I definitely don't hate there. And then Brandon Cooks, Darius Sladen, D-Jax, Michael Pittman as my upside receivers on my bench. And then I got Anthony McFarland as like an upside running back to pair with the 4 guys that I have. Like I can really start any week that I want to.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, definitely a solid looking squad there. Now I'm going to briefly run through mine. So ended up with Stafford. Again, the injury risk is there, but in a 1 QB league, you can take a risk like that seemingly because there's so many options on the waiver wire. Like I pick up like a Gardner Minshew or I don't know, even like a Teddy Bridgewater, to be quite honest, with a good floor every week. At running back, I got 2 boom running back potential guys in Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Jonathan Taylor. Mentioned Jonathan Taylor may start a little slow, maybe similar to Nick Chubb in his rookie year, where he started slow but ended up finishing as a top 17 back simply because of how much of a tear he went on in the second half of the season. And I briefly mentioned it when I did pick Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but you saw the stats, what Damian Williams was able to put up when he played 50% plus of the snaps. I do think Clyde is absolutely going to smash 50% and probably be in that 60 to 75% snap range. And if he does that, I mean, I think you'll hear more about it in the My Guys Bowl Predictions episode, whatever you want to say. But I do think the sky is the limit for a guy like Clyde Edwards-Helaire this year.
Yeah, he might catch 80 passes.
Yeah,
like he has that
literally.
upside, and like with Mahomes endorsing him as much as he did, and the offense kind of being as spread out as it is because of Tyreek Hill, like it's so easy to get your ball to your running back in that kind of situation. And the way Clyde is after the catch, like he can do a lot after the catch. If you're down in the red, like I can see this now. Next year at this time, we're gonna be like, well, Clyde had like 7 receiving touchdowns. Like that's not gonna happen.
Regression.
Yeah, like I could totally see that happening because they're gonna be down in the red zone where Kelsey's getting double teamed and Tyreek's got the best corner on him and fucking Clyde swings out on a little route and makes 2 guys miss and runs into the end zone for like a 15-yard receiving touchdown. I can see him doing that like 6 or 7 times.
Yeah, I mean, and you mentioned the receiving touchdown upside too, not even to mention like the rushing upside he has in that red zone area. I mean, we saw it on full display, even at LSU. People are going to say, oh, it's LSU's offense. Well, it's also the Kansas City Chiefs offense, which is basically LSU of the NFL. And what this guy was able to do in the red zone, I mean, we saw it on full display, especially against Alabama, was absolutely dominant in that game. So segueing off Clyde Edwards-Helaire, we know how talented he is, and I'm sure I will be talking about him more this offseason. Go into it. Julio Jones, locked in, top 5 receiver. No debates there. I mean, that guy's a fucking animal. Adam Thielen, safe floor. I think he's going to be a top 10 receiver if he does play 16, which I'm fully fine with taking there in the 3rd round. I believe I took him. DJ Chark in my flex. Kareem Hunt in my other flex. Well, briefly mentioned Hayden Hurst again, top 6 tight end. That's actually going as I think the tight end 10 off the board. So value there. And then going into my bench, I mentioned Ronald Jones when I picked him. Kind of a safe floor play for Jonathan Taylor with top 20 upside, as we have mentioned. Across the offseason, get in there in the 6th round, really good value on him.
I think between those 2 guys, you're going to have a top 10 running back. I think one of them is going to be a top 10 running back.
I
for sure.
can definitely see that. I mean, tons of upside there. And then getting into the final piece on my bench, Jalen Reagor. We talked about him, Raven camp, great player there. Alexander Madison handcuffed to Dalvin Cook with standalone value, given how much they run the ball in that offense. Rashad Perriman, Chase Edmonds, and Steven Sims Jr. All guys that I have talked about multiple times on the channel. But yeah, definitely like how that mock draft ended up. If you guys want to see more content like this, make sure you click that like button, hit that notification bell when you subscribe, and comment down below what you guys think on those teams. But Daniel here, Bush there. We're going to be signing out. So peace out, y'all. Anything you want to say, Bush?
No, peace
All
out.
right. See ya.